Good morning. It is July 7th, 2023 on a Friday morning. It's Friday again. Yeehaw. Yay. 9 a.m. I'm going to go over here to another panel and get an audio check. And there I've got audio. And the other screen is muted. And I think Baby Beast is muted, but not sure. Yes, it is. I'm going to go straight into channel comments, then catch up with chat. Tim Travis replied, the last show on, what was it, Wednesday? Yeah, because I was up at the cabin on Thursday. Had a great time. Thank you very much. And Tim Travis, I had sent a reply to him, letting him know that I responded to his question during that session. Here's his response. Thanks, Doug. I will try to get into chat someday when you're live. My wife works from home. Now, let me set the stage a little bit. He was having troubles with his Comcast upload speeds in particular. He was concerned about. Here he's giving us some more background information, which I had asked about, and this is going to lead me to some different suggestions for Tim. I will try to get in chat someday when you're live. My wife works from home and is on Microsoft Teams video calls, sometime for hours at a time. And we had Verizon at-home internet, but connection wasn't fast enough, and video kept freezing, of course, at the wrong time. So switched to Comcast. The 1.2 gigabit service gives me 35 megabits upload, and most times I'm getting 42 megabits per second. That sounds good. That sounds right on the mark of what I would expect for Comcast upload speeds when you're doing the 1.2 gig service. Still freezes picture, but not as bad. When I dropped down to the 1 gig speed, the upload dropped to 20 to 25. So for the $5 a month, I'll keep the 1.2 speed. So the 1 gigabit speed apparently was $5 less per month. I don't think that difference has anything to do with the issues that you're having. Like I said, hardwired to their modem, I get 900 megabits per second. That would be download. Plugged into our 2.5 gig port on the modem, and Wi-Fi is 700 megabits per second. What am I misunderstanding there about HR? I don't know. Wi-Fi is 700 megabits per second. And I don't think that has anything to do with the Zoom or the Teams freezing troubles. I'll explain why in a bit. I was told after dealing with 3 technicians, this is the normal to drop 400 megabits comparing wireless to wired. They indeed tested the 1200 megabits, am I saying that right? The 1.2 gigabit anyway, on the cable, and it goes into the modem and loses 400 megabits. I've installed a Deco tri-band mesh system in my house, feeding off the Xfinity modem, and test the wire and Wi-Fi speeds as posted. Uploads 99.9% of the time or over 40 megabits per second. Downloads vary. I guess it is what it is. Just need the fastest speed to keep the video of her from freezing. I disagree with that, Tim. I don't think that is the trouble of the freezing, and here's why. If I right-click on the taskbar at the bottom and open Task Manager, and then go to the Performance tab, then on the right-hand side, click on either Ethernet or wireless, whichever one you're doing, while a Teams session is in action, right? Said Teams, yeah, Teams. And look at your actual send and receive speeds. I don't think you are filling up those numbers at all. Here I am live streaming to YouTube, and at the same time my computer is playing YouTube on multiple tabs. My upload utilization, what I'm actually using, you can see it going up almost to 8 megabits per second. That's well below the speed rating that you're getting. And it shows my download speeds here. On Saturdays, which is tomorrow, I have a Zoom session running with multiple participants, and I'm live streaming, and still the upload is not utilizing anywhere near the capacity that you currently have as your upload capability. I don't think that's the source of the trouble with the freezing of the Teams sessions. To narrow down where the trouble is actually coming from, here's my suggestion, is go to the Startup tab in Task Manager on her computer. Now I'm deducing that her computer is connected through wireless, and that's fine, through Wi-Fi. And that's fine. You should be able to get stable communications. We have many participants on this channel that are participating in Zoom sessions, and some of them also do Zoom and live stream, and I think some of those are using Wi-Fi. Not certain about that piece, but you don't need nearly as much upload as what you have currently available. But anyway, on your wife's computer, to go through the Startup tab and temporarily disable all of the items that she doesn't actually need through that session and see if the performance is better. Now, when you do that, for instance, if I go disable this one for, do I want to do Logitune? Yeah, that's okay. I can do Logitune because I'm not actually restarting the computer. You mark it as disabled. After you're done with your testing, you're going to need to go back and re-enable everything that you want re-enabled. So don't just go in and disable items willy-nilly until you first document what is currently disabled. Now, the way I like to do that is sort by the status column. See this arrow up here at the top? That means I'm sorted by the status column. You can be sorted by the name column or sorted by the publisher column, the status column, the startup impact column. But when you do the status column, if you're about to disable a bunch of things, sort by this column, make the window as large as you can, get a cell phone and take photos, or you do screenshots, whatever your preference. From the top of the list, if they're sorted descending order, all these at the top are enabled. You scroll down to the bottom and then you'll see the ones that are disabled. So take this photo first before you disable anything, so you have a record of what was already disabled, and then go disable other items that you think it can get along without and see how the performance is. That is one method of approaching this. Another method of approaching this is while she is in a team session, try to get a session that you can maybe experiment with or have the freedom to check it out, is go to the Processes tab, and when she's having freezing, when freezing occurs, you want to look to see in the status column, is anything showing as, let's see, what is the word they use here? Here, this green symbol. That is a symbol, is that the one I mean? Suspending. Yeah, this is the suspend symbol. You can sort by the status column so that you could have them grouped together. Famous last words, that's not working for me. This UWP process group is suspending processes. No, that's not the one. It should say suspended in here when something is actually suspended. So looking to see if something in here is actually causing your trouble. Also look at the CPU, memory, disk, network, GPU. See if anything out there seems alarming or really high at the time when she's having freezing. Over here you see power usage. You can sort by this column. Can you? Why isn't I not? Yeah, it seems to be sorting, but I'm not getting the symbol up here. Yeah, it is sorting by the column, but I'm not getting that V. So this would be a way to spot what is using a lot of resources at a time when this freezing is occurring. Now there's other places to go with this. We can go look at process monitor, auto runs, not really so much. The startup tab is going to be fine for you. We don't need to go to auto runs for what you're having. And then another thing is to check your network utilization. So another thing to do is shut down all the other devices or even disconnect all the other network devices from your router and just let your wife's computer run the team session. Is it more stable then? Now what we're looking for there is something that is putting out garbage onto your local area network that might be causing troubles. So these are just some other ideas, other places that you can look for the sources of the freezing troubles. There may be also something about the webcam that's being used. So I don't think that your trouble has to do with this upload speed, because you just don't need that much upload speed for a Teams video session. Then let's go on to this next. Now, the chat room may have other comments going on. Certainly always. Oh, Tim is in the chat room. Oh, great. And you've had some conversations back and forth. Oh, that means I don't have to send you a reply here saying that we're have content in here. So I'm going to go ahead and catch up with the chat. I'll hold Richard Lane's questions for a little bit later. I'm not sure if we'll get to that today or not. Let's come over to today's session and pop out chat, make it bigger, zoom in. I'm going to look down toward the bottom. Unlimited data. She's the only one on the Comcast feed. I'm here, all good. We'll have to check if the app is updated. So there's been other people giving some suggestions here. Her computer is connected to the Deco mesh node, gets 900, 400. Those speeds are fine. Reboot after disabling items in startup. Thank you, Jim. I neglected to mention that, because of the whole idea of disabling startup on it. That doesn't disable them right now. That only disables them on the next time you restart the computer. Is the app up to date from Alice? Let's see, other comments from Tim there. I'm here in chat. So apparently this is when Tim joined in. Okay, I think I'm all caught up with Tim. I'll go back to the beginning. Jesse Pinkman from my Fortnite channel. Jesse played with us this morning. Hey, I had a great day this morning. I got a lot of kills, and at least once, maybe twice, I had the winning kill where we got first place and we won. So any of you are at all following my Fortnite channel, you might want to go watch today's show. Nick Poverman, the internet connection at the farm was really sketchy, so the modem was moved to the barn. Now they have stable Wi-Fi. Nick Poverman, when life gives you lemons, be happy it wasn't Cy Phyllis. Cy Phyllis is a character from a science fiction show. I prefer to avoid adult humor, so yeah, that one's a little bit family-friendly channel, please. Bobby Warren, hi everyone. John Williams, TGIF. It's Friday, we're on the home stretch. Randy Israel, John Williams, Bobby Warren, Randy Israel. Seems that YouTube now insists on putting the playlist above the chat window. The playlist above the chat window. Oh, what you might be seeing is if you have your, let's see if I can do this. Let me come over to this video. Here's chat window on the side. If you are in, if you've shrunk down the width of your window, oh, come on, get over here. There. Shrink this down this way, then the chat window will be below the video. So maybe that's what you have going on there. Now this was from a previous video. That's not today's live stream. But try maximizing your window. Maybe that's why you're not seeing the chat room off to the side of the video, if that's what you're saying, Rand Israel. Lawn Dog, well, the playlist is below the chat window on my YouTube screen. I wonder if you're experiencing a new change being experimented on. Lawn Dog's traditional. Tim Travis saying hello. Alice. Seldom all giving us a weather report. Winter mute. Hello. Bobby to Tim. My parents had that issue. Comcast switched out their modem and router to improve the speed. But Tim's speeds sound okay to me. And somebody else pointed out 2 days ago when I first responded to Tim is that Comcast is, when you do the 1.2 gigabyte plan, that's up to 1.2 gigabytes. The only thing they're guaranteeing you is that you're not going to have more than that. In talking to technicians, they have some kind of rule of thumb that they expect you to actually be able to see numbers. About 85% of that, I think, is what I was told, but can't quote me on that. Oh, where's my mouse dead? Am I in trouble? Zero drop frames. Looks like I'm still, you know what? I bet my battery's gone dead on my mouse. Plug in my mouse to the wire. Yep, there it is. Came alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's a little jumpy. It's not working well. That happens because when I'm connected to this wire, it just doesn't seem to work as well. I'm going to try plugging back into the wireless mouse. See if it'll stay alive for a little bit now. Danielle, I have experienced video freezes lately while using WhatsApp video with different colors, and that's not necessarily an upload speed problem. Speedy C says hello. I've already read some of these. Alice asking if the app's up to date. And I kind of doubt that that's causing the issue, but worth checking. Tim, do you have unlimited data on your internet? Only one using, yes, unlimited. It's Bobby to Tim. You can upgrade the router, like call the corporate office. Again, I don't think that's a source of the actual trouble. Update within Teams. I doubt this is a speed problem. What's the hardware from Jim? I agree with Jim. The hardware, maybe, yeah, that's worth finding out what the hardware is, what is the computer and so on. But my suspicion is more something to do with something in the background, running in the background, or something causing trouble in your local area network. Wintermeat to Rand, did you open this video from the YouTube page, reload the page? Rand says he minimized the playlist. Oh, I know what he means by the playlist. It's getting chat below the playlist. So his playlist, he's referring to the suggested videos. These here. He is seeing, I think that also, I do recollect some experiments with that, where the playlist shows here and then chat is even below that. And I'm not having that, but I do recollect something along those lines. Tim, in testing Comcast app, again, 110%. So 1.2 / 34 is paid for and I get 1.3. Yeah, you might be in trouble. They might sue you. If you're getting more than what they promised, they might have grounds to sue you. It's just kidding, of course. And the whole thing about up to, that's not any kind of a binding statement at all. Selden, today there's a gigantic ad above chat. Are you not logged in to your Google account or your YouTube account? If you look up here, do you not have your profile icon? If you're not logged in, I'm wondering if that might make a difference. And also, if you're not on a paid YouTube, a YouTube Premium account, because I'm on Premium, you'll get more advertisements. Maybe that has something to do with that. But it was Rand Israel having the trouble. Selden saying there was a gigantic ad above chat, leaving only a couple lines of chat visible. Tim says we'll have to dive further into the laptop inside what's going on. Randy Israel, the suggested videos are further down as before. The list above the chat window is my personal playlist. Huh. Sorry, I meant my watch later list. Okay. John William needs to revert to default video for the chat to be right of the video. Default video. Revert to default video. Where is that at? Greg M. Sorry, was fuming at Canada Post and their brain dead tracking site. Chris, I'm not on Premium. I don't see ad above chat. Selden, yes, I'm logged in. Don't use ad blocker. Don't pay for Premium. Hello, Chris McGraw. Okay, I'm going to go back to the next topic from Richard Lane. I've got a couple comments here. Let's see. Yeah. Richard Lane was responding to my video about a Surface Pro 8 NVMe upgrade, a blue screen of death solutions, and that was on my Windows Daily 164. That video is here. I had no recollection of what this video was about. I had to go back and look it over a little bit. And what that video was about is I was responding to this person's question that I got in email. And they had installed a larger NVMe drive in their Surface Pro 8, and then they were getting blue screen of death symptoms. Computer would freeze and lock up. So that's what Richard Lane is responding to here. He says, first Surface Pro 7 Plus is a separate model. I deduce the reason he makes that comment is that he's dealing with a Surface Pro 7 Plus, whereas my video was about a Surface Pro 8. He says, I had the same problem with this drive and with this drive. I'm not reading through all of the drive model information. And those drives were for Surface Pro 8, Surface Pro 7 Plus. One of them that was claiming to be compatible with that. Purchased from Amazon. He created a recovery drive. I think that was an installation drive from Windows 11 for Windows 11 from the Microsoft website. After installing, able to get in Windows 11, the operating system was unstable. After restarts, it did not recognize the drive. Unplugging USB mouse also created problems. The operating system would cycle back a boot error, could not find bootable operating system. Check the boot configuration, try to fix this. That was the message that he was getting. And then to Surface UEFI page. Okay, so it would go to the BIOS setup page. Sometimes it would load the operating systems. Other times the circle with a blue ring timer, he calls it, and then goes to the troubleshooting page. Using the option to boot into Windows 11 normally was successful. So you get to the troubleshooting page, and then if you choose, go ahead and boot normally, it would work, at least some of the times. He says it was boot into Windows 11 normally was successful. Once again, being unstable is not acceptable. I reinstalled the original 128 gigabyte SSD, working as advertised. Cheapest temporary permanent solution is to install a micro SD XX card. So he's referring to the little card that you can put into the side of the computer or into an adapter in order to get the additional storage space. So I think what Richard Lane was here telling us about was his experiences similar to the person that I was responding to in that video. It's not really a question to me or us. I think he's just telling us about his experience also having trouble with Windows Surface. Now, but then he comes back with another comment. Warning, Microsoft cautioned. He found this caution from Microsoft. Installing a non-Microsoft or a Microsoft SSD of a different volume, I'm guessing a different size, what he means by the word volume, then the one provided originally may lead to reduced performance and unsupported configurations. The team over at iFixit have provided a demonstration on how easy the process actually is to switch out the existing SSD device. I'm presuming that means the NVMe, which is an SSD, of course, as well as providing warnings that regular M.2 2230 drives, that's the short one, might not be compatible due to some shielding on the provided SSD. I'm wondering if there might be a BIOS update. If you go to the Microsoft manufacturer's website for that particular model and serial number computer, check to see if there's a BIOS update, because I've seen many times when you're having troubles with the drive on a particular computer that a BIOS update will solve that, because the BIOS is becoming informed about a model of drive that wasn't available at the time that your current BIOS version was created, or that they've now made that BIOS compatible with drives that did exist at the time but just wasn't supported in the BIOS. So that might be a possible solution there for Richard Lane. I will send him a reply letting him know that we talked about it here. Now, Richard, in the chat room, there might be some additional comments that the chat room adds to this topic. I have the redirect set up to go to Kerry Holzman's live stream today. I always send to him on Fridays. And that's already set up. So I'm going to go ahead and handle these other two comments. Lana Dro. I'm sure Lana Dro has been a frequent viewer on this show. I recognize her name. She asks, what's with the guy floating around the office? I guess Lana Dro has not seen enough of my videos to know that, so I'll give that explanation. When I switch over here to my full screen camera, she asks, what's with the guy floating around the office? Well, there's a few of them, actually. There's this one over here on the microphone. He's on the microphone today. And there's that one up there on top of that railing. And then, let's see, to bring in Elevator Doug, let's go back over here. Elevator Doug should come up on the right side of the screen. Punch the elevator button and then go down. This is because it's kind of a, I guess meme is the right word on my channel. It's kind of a thing that there are multiple Dougs. There are some full-size Dougs and there are some mini Dougs, and it's just kind of a joke that that got started some time ago, and it's kind of stuck. And it really comes from, well, is this where it comes from? If I go to my channel, let's see, if I go here to the channel, this introductory video, how do I even get to that? I guess I have to go to an incognito, because there's still this introductory video on my channel that's way out of date. If I go to incognito and then go to YouTube/LWTDB, and that should take me to the channel page. I'm still not seeing, where's that introductory video at? I can't even find it. Did I already turn it off? I don't know. Oh, there's a video in there where I've got 5 Dougs in a business meeting up at the cabin. And it was just a spur of the moment, not very well done thing. So anyway, Lana, it's just goofy silliness. Matthew Barnes says, Doug, I thought I would clarify that Barnes in the chat is me. I changed my YouTube handle recently, but did a terrible job telling anyone. I'm pretty sure Matthew Barnes is completely fine with clicking into his channel, and I'll point out here that his user-friendly name is Barnes, B-A-R-N-S-E. I don't recollect if he's been in with us today or not. Okay, I know that video, let's see, live Windows training -DougBetts. Can I get to it this way? There's actually no, now if I click in here, do I get, no, I still don't get that channel welcome video. Oh well. You guys don't care. I don't care. Let's go see where I'm at here. There's where I'm at in chat. YouTube YT is pushing out warnings to people, to some people using ad blockers, either watch the ads or buy YouTube Premium. Jaden Stowe, hello Jaden. He says, hey Doug, I got a new 4K TV. I can't discern the difference well enough to care about it. Have fun, enjoy. Chris McGraw, the drive may not be in the QVL listing of compatible hardware. Yeah, the QVL, qualified something listing, equipment listing. Is QVL the right letters? I'm not sure. But oftentimes equipment that's not designated as tested still works. But that certainly could be the source of finding the right solutions for those people having that trouble. Jaden says, my dad pays for premium. John Williams, he's in theater mode at the bottom of the video instead of default view. Located the lower right of the test bar of the stream. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, down here, theater view. Let's see, where is that? Yeah, here. theater mode. So it might be theater mode. Yeah, see, it spreads across the full screen. And then there's chat room. And if you have some videos flagged for view later, maybe that's it. How about if I go say save to watch later? Does that make this show up differently? So to get out of theater mode, you go back and click on this default view right here. I got to turn off my picture-in-picture. There's the default view. And then here's where the theater mode was. There's theater mode, there's full screen, there's mini player. So that could be the solution. Jaden Stowe, Bob, haven't been on chat section a lot. Yeah, I don't recall seeing you recently, Jaden. Good to see you again. Nick to John thinking of that too. Yes, for sure. It's like a laptop. It is picky about RAM, SD, NVMe, and even battery upgrades sometimes. It is why I talked about QVL. Alice, my Sims game seems to be playing a little bit better. Good. Did you do anything to solve it, or is it just in a better mood? Jim, Microsoft with a $sign Surface is a PITA. I'm not gonna elaborate on what PITA stands for. Chris, it's like Carry Squirrel Buddy XD. I think that's referring to my little Dougs, mini Dougs. And Israel, trying browser in guest mode. Lawn Dog, I consider the other Dougs as alternate personalities. They can be contacted when additional help is needed. They are also useful, the other Dougs, if I've made a mistake or an error or somebody catches me saying something wrong, I can blame it on one of the other Dougs. So it's never my fault. I can always blame it on persistent Doug or impatient Doug or curious Doug. I can blame it on any of the other Dougs. It's never my fault. No, certainly not. Wink, wink, grin, grin. And the avatars are also silly, goofy humor. Chris McGraw, a 2-in-1 laptop or a Surface are basically the same. The only difference is keyboard is not attached to the screen. Yeah, there's also some variations on that. I have a Surface 3. The keyboard is detachable. Laptop. Oh, what I'm seeing as the difference between the Surface laptops and the Surface that's not called a laptop is that the computer is in the monitor. The computer itself is in the screen, whereas a laptop, the computer is under the keyboard, like a standard laptop, and then the screen folds up, and the screen is just the screen, and webcam and so on. My Surface 3 has a detachable keyboard. In order to do that, the computer has to be built into the screen. So that's what a Surface Pro is. A Surface laptop, I think they even call it Surface Pro laptop. When they use the word laptop, I'm pretty sure that means the computer is built into the keyboard portion of the device. Greg, just thought I would let you know that I will not be involved with SpinRite 7 testing once that starts. A new group is not the proper place for alpha beta testing. Let me absorb that a little bit. Greg is in the SpinRite alpha testing. I think it's alpha testing. He will not be involved with SpinRite 7 testing once that starts. A new group is not the proper place for alpha beta testing. Yeah, I still haven't got that all set up, Greg. It's still on my list of things to do. Qualified vendor list. Thank you, QVL. Bobby Warren, I'm back. I made it from lunch. It says, hello. Alice, I run on lower graphic specs, but it still freezes when closing. When closing. Closing meaning exiting the program, it freezes, so it fails to exit completely, fails to exit properly. And I think our really significant conclusion was that the problem Alice was having with the Sims 4 game. It used to run okay on her all-in-one computer from Lenovo, I think it is. But the specs of that computer weren't really very, very good. And just with the advances of Windows, the advances of Sims 4, it has some freezing going on. So she lowers the graphics and it runs better. Exiting the game is when it gets some freezes. So does that cause you to lose some changes or some things that you did in the game when you restart it? Or are there some, does it revert back to an earlier state in the game and you've lost some of your gameplay? Dennis says, still watching Hexona. He'll watch video on demand later. Dennis is not live with us right now, even though he's just talking in chat. Jaden says, hey, Bob, I love my Comcast. Jim says, there needs to be another Doug sitting under the palm tree, having a cold one. Oh, there's the palm tree. The problem with that is if I put one of the Dougs under there, well, okay, you could go like out there maybe, because I'm not going to cross over. If I put them like on this side, then when I lean over, the whole effect is just destroyed if I do that. But yeah, having a Doug under the palm tree makes makes sense. I am over time. Bobby to Jaden Stowe. Me and my parents are looking to move to the suburbs of Tampa area. Chris, a 2-in-1, you can fold it so it becomes basically a tablet in tablet mode. Yeah, okay. Would my Surface, I don't care. Is my Surface 3 a 2-in-1? I don't care. That qualifies for that term. Surface Book is the laptop model. Surface Book. When I recently purchased a Microsoft Surface Pro 4 laptop for a client, I don't recall seeing one called Surface Book. News Group. I'm not sure. Oh, that's referring to the alpha beta testing for SpinRite. Alice exiting the game. Chris, got my new cooler, lately replaced, except case RAM and motherboard. LOL 5800X, and didn't like my Hyper 212 Evo very much. Ooh. Lately a replaced except case RAM and motherboard. I'm not following that. I'm going to move along. I don't lose changes, just hangs on clothing. So is that okay? Is that tolerable? Sounds like that may be okay as long as it plays okay while you're in the game. Doug, my brother gave me a new computer and the hinges are cracked on it. What can I do to fix it? So it's a laptop. The hinges can be replaced. I've replaced hinges lots of time. What we need is the serial number of the computer, and I can guide you to the manual for the steps of how to replace it and where to find the parts for it. So give me the make. I mean, is it HP? Is it Dell? Is it Lenovo? And the serial number. Don't need so much the specific model number. The model number is not enough. Need the serial number. So the serial number from the label, or go to a command prompt. So I hit the Windows key and then CMD and type command prompt and WMIC KEYMOUSE. Doug, I can't get past saying that. WMIC, then it's, let's see, BIOS get serial number. And that'll give you the serial number. Now, with Big Beast Build, since it's not a pre-built computer, I don't get a serial number. But give me whatever that serial number is. You can copy it. You can double-click the number. They'll show up here. Press Control-C to copy it and send it to me in email or a comment in a video. And we can guide you through that. Chris McGraw, you replaced almost everything that's up here. Was there any problem, or you're just letting us know? I don't think there's a question in there. You're just telling us about something that you did, I think. Greg M. Wintermute News Group is where a vast majority of the comms is done for testing. Significant posts are lost in the way Steve assigns alpha builds with lower numbers than special builds. If I get into his testing program, I think Greg M. already told me that I'm not required to give feedback. I'm not willing to spend a lot of time giving feedback, but I would love to make videos using the alpha builds of SpinRite, and I've been intending to. I think it was Greg M that gave me the information for how to get it. I just got to go spend the time and do that. Sorry, there's a bit missing in the sentence. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and check out here. I mean, that means sign off. That says sayonara, goodbye, hasta la vista, arrivederci. Get out of here. Go have a great day, everybody. Tomorrow is the normal time for Saturdays, which starts 10, 11, 2 hours later than today's session started. That's my email address. If you want to send an email, I'll reply to it during a live stream. And go make your mark today. Whatever, Doug. Goodbye.